Yo, yo, yo. This is Interactive Media. We're here at the Burton Shop here in Chicago at Wicker Park Festival. We got Alec here, dream version. We spoke a little bit.
Yes, I don't need to talk right into the mic.
No, yeah, well, I'll swing it over to you.
All right.
I just, like, it's like the intro. You got to, like, Interactive Media.
So I'll take the signal.
Yeah.
You put the mic. Okay, that's my turn to talk.
Okay, yeah. We shake the hands,
Okay.
Alec.
Sam.
Yeah, nice to meet you. And then after that, then we'll just ask questions. So you asked me a question first.
Where'd you get your hat?
Interesting question. I actually got this one and then like 9 other hats from I wasn't related to him, but it was my grandfather's best friend. He passed away, and his wife gave me like 10 hats, and this was one of them.
That's kind of a great way to get hats.
Yeah.
And it fits perfectly?
Yeah. This was the only one that fit perfectly. All the other ones were like way too big.
This
but this is
one you wear.
Yeah.
And it's got a nice like little leather band around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs a little. It needs like the feather, but I've yet to find anyone to give me a feather for it.
Oh, okay.
But
You can probably find some feathers.
yeah. But you're wearing something pretty interesting.
So, yeah. We started doing the all-white thing, or I started doing the all-white thing on stage because it just felt like it was a way of like making myself feel like I was performing and like.
Because you don't wear all white in public, do you?
I don't generally wear all white, although I do wear a fair amount of white. But yeah, the white overalls, that's something that I've only worn on stage with the white shoes.
In the Converse, but you wear the Converse outside, off the stage.
Technically, they're like off-brand Converse, but off-brand in a way that makes them more expensive somehow. I think these are Swedish, tree torn. Yeah.
Did you get them in Sweden?
No, I got them on the internet.
Okay. Do you shop Amazon or do you shop elsewhere? I don't know I didn't know where anywhere else is. I'm an Amazon guy. So.
I try to do as little Amazon as possible,
Yeah.
but I do end up giving them a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
What's the last thing you purchased on Amazon?
Last thing that I purchased on Amazon was I actually bought a new Kindle because I left my old Kindle in a hotel room, and I was like kind of heartbroken about it. Like I had the Kindle Paperwhite. We're just talking about. We're doing so much product placement right now. The Kindle Paperwhite has been like my go-to sleep aid for the last like 5 years. Like the fact that I can read it without turning a lamp on. I just read.
It doesn't burn your retinas.
It doesn't burn my retinas. At some point I fall asleep. I wake up and it's just like somewhere in my bed. Maybe it's like under my pillow, like not a big deal. And that's like I can't sleep without it anymore. So it was a really rough one. I left it in a Holiday Inn in Denver, Colorado, and I called housekeeping multiple times and I couldn't get anybody to send it back to me. Yeah.
So you're the type of guy that like you lose something and then you're like, I need to get another one of those. You know what I mean? Like for me, like I lost a tripod.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to have another tripod like tomorrow.
Yeah. See, I have this weird like psychological delay where I feel like there's like it's not like a grieving period, but I don't, or if I just like don't get around to it, but like buying a new one is the final acknowledgement that the last one is truly lost.
Yeah.
So I had the same thing with my bike last summer. It was on a rack on my car. I was in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. A deer ran into the car. It was awful, of course. And my bike was destroyed. I actually still have not bought a new bike. I went an entire year, and I can't bring myself to buy a new bike.
That sounds like me and my longboard. My longboard got stolen, and I still haven't bought a longboard in like 2 years. I need to get a longboard, and you need to get a bike.
I know. Just need to do it.
But hey, you were telling me earlier about how you were. This is pretty cool. You're a teacher.
Yeah.
Are the other guys teachers too?
Our keyboardist and guitarist, Eric, he's a music teacher. We actually teach at the same school. And technically, actually, the drummer used to be a teacher, and at one point we all taught at the same school.
So you guys were like the coolest teachers.
I guess so, or the lamest rock and rollers. One or the other.
Do your students know that you're
They know, most of them know, and then but the word still seems to kind of spread throughout the year. I teach 8th graders,
Okay.
and a lot of them go in knowing, and some of them don't know, and some of them discover it later. But I kind of make a speech at the beginning of the year about it, and I say, like, you know, there's like Mr. Jensen at school, and then there's Mr. Jensen
on
the other thing, and
in all white on the stage?
I don't like to think about the fact that like my students might be listening to my music, because it like affects, like, let's say I'm writing a song and it's kind of like bitter and angry. Like, if I stop and think, like, is this a good like message for like a 14-year-old? Like, that's like creatively just kills you. It's like this whole level of like, there's already enough second guessing involved in being a creative person if if you're editing yourself. But like, that's just a level that would be really would really just, if I stop and think about that, it's gonna like really hurt.
Well, I mean, like, you're not on stage like performing naked, and I don't hear generally like your lyrics weren't crude by any means.
No, and we don't shy away from talking about political stuff, because I mean, it's somebody's choice if they want to check us out or not check us out. But I told a little story on stage after we played this song called Firefighter. That's was about a lot of insecurities that I felt about being at work, and the kids like all knew this song. And at the end of the school year, one year, we were like, there was like a party with a DJ and stuff like that. And they got the DJ to play this song, and they all started singing it. And it was like, really, truly like a nightmare. Like, if you can imagine having a song about like your insecurities about working with children sung to you by children, but it was totally innocent. They just thought I think that they thought it was like an act of love for them. Yeah. That they were just like, oh, he's going to really appreciate seeing, like, you know, we're going to play this song and we're going to like sing it for him. And it was like, no, it was like just imagine being taunted by children, and a nightmare about like all of your deepest fears. Like,
writing the song, you weren't thinking that this is going to happen, where they're going to take it, they're going to play it at like prom. Like, when do they play it?
Yeah, like an 8th grade, like sort of like a graduation dance kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's pretty interesting. So 8th grade. Have you always taught 8th graders?
Yeah. Yep. I taught some 6th graders at one point, but I've done 7 years of teaching 8th grade.
It's a little bit different. That's Generation Z now?
I don't
Generation
really
X? No, Generation
Z.
Generation
X was like, they were like right before the millennials, maybe?
And then it was millennials, and then it's Generation Z.
So I think that, okay, so these guys they're not millennials, I guess. I think to be a millennial, you have to have come of age.
88 to 99, I think.
So technically I'm X. I was born in 85. I don't know. I guess still feel like spiritually I'm probably a millennial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your parents may be older then?
They're baby boomers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
they're like post-war kids.
Same here.
Well, a little later than that, but well, no, they're definitely post-World War kids. Yeah, 8th grade's like super cool, and like, they're just starting to get curious about stuff, and it's just cool to be like the adult that they'll talk about the stuff that they're curious about with. And they're like fun and funny. I feel like they're good at like detecting BS, and I kind of like actually appreciate that. For some teachers, I think that becomes a source of conflict, but I really I don't like wasting people's time. I don't like having my time wasted, so like I'm totally cool with being around kids that feel the same way.
Yeah. So you have a pretty good relationship with your students, to where they come to you and they're able to say whatever to you, and you can give it to them straight. Do you fluff it? I guess I'm asking, like, do you fluff it like reality?
No, I'm nice, but I'm, you know, I don't mess around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids
don't really like come to me to talk about like personal stuff a lot.
Yeah.
I think there might actually be something about being a male teacher, maybe not across the board, but you're definitely not like, I don't think people see me as like a nurturing figure, not to get into like
less of a counselor and more like
but I think like that's sometimes the way that kids that age see their parents. There's like an analog to like mom and dad, you know. They were like but you know, you want to talk to me about movies and music and politics and stuff like that.
There's got to be more politics in 8th grade today than when back when we were in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's all, you know, it's just, that's, I feel like everybody's an expert on everything.
Yeah.
Since Twitter, since social media, since it's just all kind of.
Yeah. But everybody's an expert on everything.
Yeah.
Like
I you know, I do photography.
Yeah.
And so like I did photography. Now I've been doing it for like 4 years, and I'm still learning things. Like,
oh yeah.
If I were to like, and I'm sure as a musician, you feel the same way, that like you are not by any means expert. I mean, for me watching you up there, it looked like you knew.
No, I mean every time
you're still growing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and musicians are like, I think some musicians are good at just admiring other better musicians, and a lot of musicians are instead they're like envious of other better musicians. There's like, I often have the sensation of like listening to a song and being like, why the hell did I make this? Why didn't I make this first? Like, I definitely get that, like that thought. It's stupid. It's a stupid thought. But you got it.
We what do people say? We digress.
Yeah, from whatever we're.
Is that I've heard that said so many times, but I don't necessarily. You're the teacher.
Oh yeah, it's something you say when you get really off topic.
Okay.
Yeah. Instead of progressing.
Yeah.
You split off, you digress.
Okay. Well, the good news is before this interview, I was like, we're just going to talk about everything and anything. Yeah. So I guess to kind of like close on this is, if people haven't heard you, if they're watching this interview, maybe a student's watching it, like they. I want to put all of your links in the description. I'm sure you have Spotify.
Yep, for sure.
On iTunes.
Yep.
On YouTube, Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, we don't do much on Twitter, but Instagram, Facebook, Spotify. Bandcamp's a big one for. It's really helpful to musicians.
It goes way back with Bandcamp. I mean, that's kind of the first. For me, it was like the first thing I did was post on SoundCloud. Yeah, I'm sure for you guys, the first thing it was
SoundCloud, and I mean even back in the day. I mean, I remember posting songs on MySpace when it existed. But
we'll have the MySpace in the description below.
But Bandcamp just is really musician friendly, and you know, if people sell stuff on Bandcamp only takes like just the teeniest little cut.
And you can also put it up for free, but if people want to donate,
Yep.
I like that. I really like that.
But yeah, anywhere that you're used to buying music.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then sorry, my like phone lit up and then it went to sleep and then it lit up. This camera, it's really strange. It like only records 21 minutes.
Oh. So you gotta set a timer.
Yeah, so I'm like I think we're like on minute 18.
Okay.
Like, the great thing about this is it's all uncut, by the way. So like they're totally gonna be like, why is he talking about this mid conversation?
Yeah.
But what I wanted to ask you,
why are they awkwardly talking about if he's gonna hold the microphone or not?
But that's real. That's authenticity. That's what I think we're kind of lacking in today's day and age.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for that. And you can't learn everything about somebody from 140 characters.
And you still can't learn everything from somebody in a 21-minute interview.
I've told you everything that I know about the universe.
I'm basing so many. I don't. Okay, the question, final question was: if they haven't heard your music, what do you like? What do you generalize? Like, one, who is your influences, and then and then what would you define as your genre? Okay. I guess is what I'm getting to.
Yeah. So, in terms of influences, there's the stuff that's just like in your DNA. Like, you don't try to sound like it; you just sound like it, and that's like the Beatles. I started listening to Beatles when I was like 9. So, I mean, that's just everything. Everything that I think about is somehow filtered through the Beatles, but also some 90s bands like Pavement and the Pixies that I was obsessed with in high school. But I think more recently, our influences are sort of like aspirational. Like they're not necessarily things that I think we actually sound like, but they're things that we're sort of like. They're thinkers, musical thinkers that I'm trying to think like, and some of those are like in Devo or in Wire, the Slits, like a lot of stuff that's from the late '70s. This band called the DBs from the early '80s, and really a lot of older stuff, but also like Kate Bush and Prince. Like I always just aspire to be as weird as they are and as comfortable being weird as they are.
Minus the purple guitar.
Minus the purple guitar, but I'm working on my own trademark here. And I mean, we're an indie rock band with a little bit of a punk flavor. We're melodic. And I think that it's important to note that we see ourselves as a brainy band. Mm-hmm. Like the cerebral side of things is more interesting to us than the sugary side of things. Yeah. But we try to have a little sugar in there too.
I like that. Indie rock with a hint of punk. Mm-hmm. 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 Check them out. It's Dream Versions. This is Alec. Is it versions or version?
Singular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dream Version. It sounds kind of like Dream Version.
Yeah, we've gotten that before. We've gotten Dream Vision too.
Okay.
Yeah. Dream Version.
Dream Version. Check them out. If it's not live, then Spotify, Bandcamp, everything will be linked in the description below. My Patreon that I plan to make, I don't know if
you'll make it by the time that you put
this
up.
Yeah, I hope so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If not, maybe I'll throw my PayPal down there or something like that. But lawn care only gets you so far. But Alec, it was awesome.
Thank you, Sam.
Meeting with you and talking with you, and I hope to see you again.
All right, I appreciate it.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching this interview. If you enjoyed it, be sure to smash the like button. Also, subscribe. Ring the bell if you'd like to get notified every time I post an interview. I also post music, original music that I produce myself, and also vlogs. So this channel has a whole lot more to offer. Thank you very much again, and I hope you have a grand day. I hope you have an excellent day. I hope you have a terrific day. I hope you have a grand day. Thank you. Bye-bye.